everyone, how's it going? Today's video is about the Yogl's geographical distribution. It's another relatively short and sweet one, so with that said, let's get started. The Yogl's native planet of Machii was already several billion years older than Earth at the time the Yogl evolved to the degree of sentience. Nutrients in the soil were much more scarce than they had once been, which resulted in patches of dead or sparse vegetation and large areas of desert. Oases exist on and around Machii's equator in which the ground is more fertile than the global average. Although their sizes vary, they're usually the size of a small city, although they can be patchy. The Yogl evolved within one of these oases. However, as they grew in number, it became clear to them that they would need to either remain in the oases and effectively passively cull their numbers by dying as the remaining resources failed to adequately provide for the whole population, or explore beyond the oasis in search of other habitable areas. The Yogl began to disagree between themselves about the best way to manage this situation and eventually sent a large band of settlers, comprised of the portion of the population who felt that exploring beyond the oasis was the best thing to do, to find a viable place to live beyond. The settlers found a piece of desert ground to the northwest. The space was not ideal. However, over time the settlers succeeded in establishing a stable, flourishing city. By the time the desert city had been settled, it had become apparent to the Yogl that lush, green areas were at a premium, and they considered such areas to be exceptionally beautiful. They sought more. As their history progressed and they developed the capability for space travel, they continued to keep an eager eye out for lush areas of land on which to live within the system of the-gij. Areas avoided: crags, caves and dens. Areas that provide abundant living or hiding spaces for predatory animals are usually avoided. However, an individual Yogl may still choose to live in such a space given other, more favourable features of the location. Coastal areas. Coastal Yogl cities are not particularly uncommon, but the prevailing Yogl philosophy is to remain close together and instead use coastal areas solely as the locations of water conversion plants. Cold areas. Yogl are adapted to self-cool, so usually avoid areas prone to severe cold. Their pragmatic and cautious nature leads them to only develop settlements where they expect to remain in the long term, so they don't settle in areas where they expect there to be periods of sustained cold. If you're enjoying this series, please take the time to like and subscribe. Every bit of support helps me out, so please share this video if you haven't already and leave me a comment down below. Aside from that, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video in the series, which should be on the right-hand side of the screen. See you soon!